Sup Tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks. And today, boys and girls, today we're gonna talk about mistakes. How one mistake can affect your game. Now, I'm not referring to you new players out there, because you make a lot of mistakes. But me playing the game for so long, trust me, I still make mistakes. Every player in the world, doesn't matter how super extra unit they are, they will make mistakes. Because we're not robots. We can't get out there and play every game perfect. It's just not possible. It's never going to happen. But there are some games, and let me set this up for you a little bit here. There are certain periods of time when you play this game when you know there's a lot of good players on both teams. And there are periods of time like that, during peak time, where the server is heavy and there's a lot of players playing the game. Usually, in the past, used to be the weekends. Friday evening, Saturday evening, or Sunday. And, you know, these games, I come to play. These games that I'm going to show you today, I come to play. And this is, to be honest, top of my performance level. This is where I actually concentrate and I try to do my best in these games. So what I'm showing you today is different games and different tanks from different time frames. But most of them are that I'm actually trying. That I'm trying hard. I'm trying to win the game. I'm trying to get a good result. So in many cases, I don't do this. I play a game because, you know, I want to have fun or whatever. But these are the games that I'm actually trying. Now, these games exemplify what happens when you have good players on the opposing team. And how hard it is to actually get a win in those situations. Because all the games you see on YouTube, you see tanks driving through the middle of the map. Players have open shots into those tanks. They club. They farm easily. That is not what's happening at peak times. I mean, most of the time. But there are exceptions, obviously. As a matter of fact, in those situations, you're not going to be able to find shots. You're not going to be able to find easy pens or able to club. There's no way. You have to find your damage. You have to find a way to earn the damage that you get. And that's what I'm talking about. These are the games I'm showing you today. And quite unfortunately, these are not the games that I would normally show on my channel. The reason why is because they're not high damage games. They're not games where I can show you 6,000 damage result, 7,000 damage result, maybe even higher. And those games still happen at peak times. They still do. But for majority of time, this is what you're gonna get. And in today's episode, we're gonna focus specifically on how one mistake can affect the outcome of the game. Even with my playing ability, with my carrying ability in this game. And I've done this for years. Trust me, I've done this for years. Games like this still happen. Now, I don't have many of those on my hard drive. These are basically a collection over the last 2 months. I think 3 games to show you guys. But still, they happen. Actually, they happen more often than not. Regardless, let's get to gameplay. So first game is on map Pilsen. I'm in T95E6. And you're gonna see me play those OP tanks, usually in situations like this, because I want to make sure I'm getting good result. That's what I'm trying. But in this game so far, I've done nothing. Literally, the opposing team gives me absolutely nothing. I have no shots anywhere. Even though I try my best to get myself in positions where I can do some damage, I have a hard time doing that. Because players are just too smart. They won't give me anything. Everyone's playing passive. Well, except this guy, which I just took out of the game. He probably wasn't most experienced player. He got himself in the middle and he got himself killed. That's the way it goes. You gotta really know the positions you can take in those situations in order to win the game. It's extremely hard. So I don't expect this from new players, to be honest. Now this shot on T100 LT, again, there's an RNG factor here too. Because if I killed this 100 LT, my Conqueror wouldn't die. And then I would have had bigger chances of winning. But unfortunately, that wasn't meant to be. The RNG said no. I couldn't hit the 100 LT on the move, even though I aimed the shot pretty well. The shell went in the ground. I couldn't do anything. Now, there'll be another factor here. Again, RNG factor. And RNG plays a role, especially in a very close game like this one. RNG will play a role. I loaded HE over here in order to pen this guy. I got 60 millimeters of pen on my HE round in this tank, and I couldn't penetrate armor of 55 millimeters. That's the way it goes sometimes. RNG roll says no. And that contributed to this game as well. But anyway, I'm sure you see many of these situations in your games where you're actually trying to do something and you can't do nothing. Trust me, sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's just the opposition team is just smart. They have really smart players on the opposing team. They know how to play their tanks. So you can't continuously blame yourself for situations like this. They happen sometimes because of the fact that you're not paying attention, but a lot of time is because the opposing players are just good. That's the way it goes. And you have to remember, good players in this game, they won't miss their shots. They will hit their shots every time. Anyway, so we're playing really defensively right here because I had a feeling already this is what would happen. Basically, we couldn't get no shots into these guys, and eventually my teammates will die, and I'll end up in this situation here defending the ridgelines. I didn't even move from this position, to be honest. But now I'm getting pushed by this Emil, and I'm checking out the situation here. These guys at D3 are only one-shots, which is good. I still have enough HP to do something about this game, but the key thing here is I need to take care of this Emil. I need to take him out of the game. Even if I take a hit over here, which I did, the important thing is taking him out of the game. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm worried about this Waffle E100. Obviously, he's got a big gun. I don't want to get under his gun, but I can deal with this guy. So we're going to take him out of the game. And now I was thinking to myself, okay, it's not so bad. It's kind of 1v5 situation. Artie is inconsequential on this map because, you know, it's hard shots for Artie in between buildings. But if I can put a couple shells into this guy, and then we spot this Kranwagen, we ended up taking him out. That was just quick decision making, which was great. But here, engaging this Waffle E100, this is what I'm talking about. One big mistake. It's not that he pens me, because you take under consideration the opposition player's skill, okay? He'll pen you if he knows how to play. What I did wrong here in this situation is I chose the wrong incline. Instead of going on the left-hand side where the incline is lower, I went on the right-hand side where the incline is higher, and I wasn't able to bring my gun down on my first shot against him. Yet he managed to pen me. He would have been out of the game already. Now keep that in mind. I see this guy going through the middle. We take him out. No problem. And then I see Boras coming from the other side. And I'm like, I'm ready to engage him. But guess what's stopping me from going over there and engaging him? It's that Waffle E100 who's sitting behind me, who I probably should have killed already, but I haven't. And now I can't really go after this guy because if I crest the ridgeline, I'm dead. If I go around from the left-hand side, I'm probably dead too. What I probably should have done is run through the corridor, taking a chance that Waffle can miss me, which was possible. That was probably the best thing to do in this situation. But instead, I got killed by Artie because I was stationary and obviously I wasn't doing anything. So anyways, these are the games that I normally don't show on my channel, guys, because they're not highest damage games. Close, yes. I'm sure there are good learning points in these games that I can emphasize for you guys, and that's what I'm trying to do right here, right now. But this just shows how hard it is sometimes to win, especially if you play at peak times versus good players. So, if you're a new player, I can tell you right now, you should avoid playing on peak times. take a look at the server loading, there's a website which shows server loading for World of Tanks console. I don't remember what it is right now. If I find it, I'll leave it in the description section below. But there is one. I would suggest you guys don't play at peak times, because if you do, you're going to run into a lot of good players, and that's the last thing you want to do. Although nowadays, I don't know if that's still happening, to be honest. A lot of good players left the game, so I'm not sure what's up. They might still be there, they might not. Anyway, let's go to the next game. And in this one, we're actually in T62A. We're on map Dragon Ridge. Now this map, it's not one of the best maps, to be honest. Although, you know, I kind of got a grasp on how to play this map, especially in a fast medium tank. So I like coming in the middle here most of the time because, you know, you can get early spots. You can try to hit guys crossing the north side of the map, crossing from east to west. And you can sometimes catch them, put some freebies into them. So that was the idea here. Unfortunately, I didn't get nothing out of that. Again, players are pretty smart. They're not overexposing their tanks. I had a shot on a bat shot, couldn't hit him. It is what it is. Now I'm trying to find holes in enemies' defenses. So as you notice here, this bat shot is isolated, so we're able to come up here and put a shell into him. But I'm paying attention to the middle of the map, because in many cases the opposition tanks will poke over the top of the ridgeline over here. Now I do have 2 sniper schnitzels in the back line at I4, which is helpful, and that's why I'm playing so aggressive here. Problem is, what do you do if those sniper schnitzels are actually not shooting the opposition tanks? Take a look at what's happening here. They're gonna have trouble hitting some of these tanks, especially when they're on the move. And I'm already anticipating bad situation here because I see so many opposing tanks on top of that ridgeline, so I'm just wondering when they're actually gonna spill onto the field. I'm worried about getting YOLO'd. That's a normal thing of World of Tanks today. Like this guy. Take a look at him. Fortunately, he gets completely destroyed and annihilated because he got tracked, and because he was stationary, all of the friendly tanks were able to put a shell into him. But look at these guys. They're just spilling. They're just spilling. Like, that guy is gonna go after me, and I knew that my TDs had good intentions. They tried to hit him, right? They were trying to hit him. But look, they're both gonna miss their shots. Right there. You can see the shots are being missed. Right? So it's up to me to take him out of the game, and luckily I got a high roll at the end. My last shot, 346, was a high roll in order to take him out. But look at this guy! Another YOLO! They're still trying to kill me! They don't like me, apparently. Or maybe they just think I'm toxic or something. Anyway, that was on toxic account, so you can say I'm toxic. Regardless, my team comes through this time around, and you saw me drop lower ground. This is normal. If you're getting YOLO'd, try to get in the lower ground. Try to get yourself in a situation where it is hard for all of the YOLOs to come and get you. So that's what I was trying to do, and I was trying to bring him closer to my guns, to my sniper schnitzels, hoping that they're gonna actually shoot them. Some of my friendlies did shoot. I can't deny it. Look at my assisted damage, 2600. So they did shoot. But we had so many guns on this side of the map. These guys should have been all dead in no time, to be honest. Shouldn't be just 2600 assisted damage. Should be like 4000, to be honest. But I digress. Let's keep moving here. So the game is still very, very close. I still have 600 HP. Which is good. Not great, but it's good. So I'm just gonna try to poke holes in the opposition's defenses right here. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I'm gonna go through here and see if I can get any shots into these guys. But then I realized there's some big guns over there. There's this T-30 over there. I know for a fact there's still Terran in the game. And last thing I want to do is run into Terran, because you know what happens with 600 HP, right? And there's this bat shot. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think that's gonna happen. We're gonna have to get the hell out of Dodge right here, because I'm worried about getting YOLO'd again, to be honest. It's not gonna happen. Spoilers. It's not gonna happen again, but I'm still worried. So I'm gonna drop a little bit further here. My worry right now is that TD on the far side. Because if light tank heals him, it could be game over. Luckily, RTD does the job. UDES, out of all tanks, takes care of business and heals the T-54 lightweight. Big kill. Huge kill. So we'll take it. So now what do? I don't have HP to be fighting up front. And T-62A is not a good tank for ridgelines. It's a good tank fighting down low, but not really fighting up top. It has good mobility, so you can relocate. So that's what I'm trying to do over here. I'm trying to change position on the map, trying to figure out where the opposition tanks are. So far, there isn't too many of them spotted, and that's what worries me. Terran hasn't been spotted yet. There are 2 more TDs that weren't spotted yet. There's a heavy tank, T-57 Heavy, that hasn't been spotted yet. So we're going to try to play this cautious game. We're going to try to go backwards here so that we can spot and run away as fast as we can. That's the idea. The idea was to shoot towards the D-line, but then T-57 gets spotted. And I'm like, oh shit, that is not good. Because he can easily charge me here and take me out of the game. So you see me running. I'm going to run. I'm going to run from T-57 Heavy every time with this HP. Actually, even if I have full HP, I'm going to run from him. Unless I have a really good position where I can use my turret armor in order to fight him. But still, you can't fight T-57 Heavy. You gotta run. So, I really don't want to stay there. We're gonna reposition. So looking at the map, and again, the game is progressing quite slowly. And you're gonna see this, usually. If the players are good strategically, you're gonna see this happen a lot more often. Not in today's World of Tanks, because in today's World of Tanks, there's a lot of steamrolls. That's all you see. It's just steamrolls. Right? But in some cases, when you play, especially at peak times, you're going to get these games. And that's what this was. Anyway, I noticed that Ayudes finally died, or he relocated. I'm not sure where he is right now, but this flank is open. So I was thinking to myself, let's get myself on the other side here. No one is going to expect me to be here. And from here, I could probably put some shots of damage across the map if needed. The idea is not to cross the ridgeline, like this ridgeline here. I don't really want to cross it. I just want to spot across it and see what's coming on this side, if there's anything at all. I want to stay as protected as I can be. Protected by ridgelines, protected by dead tanks. All of a sudden we get spotted. And I'm thinking, what the hell? And then I noticed there's this tank on our side of the map. He just had the same idea that I did. I got a little bit lucky here because I had the high ground. If I ran into him earlier, he probably would have taken me out of the game. Although he was a one-shot as well, so I would have been able to take care of him. But regardless, he's dead. That's important. Now we have shots into this T-57 Heavy. Can we put shells into him? We put one. Put another one. He's smart enough. He gets himself behind the building, unfortunately, so we don't have shots into him. Now I see this T-30 down below me. He made his way all the way down here. We didn't want to engage him, but since he got shafted by our TDs, we were able to just drop down here and finish him off. Take him out of the game. Again, another tank out of the game. That's what we want right now. We lose our 6th sense. Now this is where the mistake will come in. And again, one mistake. I don't think I made many in this game. This will be one. Against wrong tank. I just wanted to poke the ridgeline here. To spot. And Terran. 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 Terran was looking right here. Exactly where I was. And even with my speed, I tried to back up, spot, and run away. I got outspotted first, and second, I didn't have enough speed to run away. Dang. And I was beating myself over here. I'm like, I just threw the game. I made one mistake the entire game, and I threw it. That's what I was thinking, because all we have is 3 sniper schnitzels that don't know what the fuck they're doing. At least that's what I was thinking at the moment. Look at this guy's damage. See what I mean? So I was kicking myself. In this situation, what I should have done, Pokin was right thing to do. But what I should have done is poke in a way where only my turret was visible. That's what I should have done. I overexposed my tank way too much. That was the problem. And I got punished for it. And to be honest, great anticipation by the Terran player. He was looking exactly in a direction or in a spot where I was going to poke. He was anticipating that really, really well. Another thing I could have done is don't poke from that area, because that's when I was last spotted, right? I could have came around from the other side, closer to the middle of the map, and poke over there. That would have been probably a better play. But regardless, we did not survive this battle. So I was at the mercy of my friendlies right here in order to win. Luckily, the opposition team is making a mistake. What's their mistake? It's 3v2 at the moment. So in no way, shape or form, T-57 should be pushing through here and trying to spot. Every time. Learn your tanks, guys. He will be outspotted. Every time he will be outspotted by the Terran or the UDIS. Those are the things you should know. You should know which are the high camo tanks you cannot go into an open field against. T-57 has a fantastic view range. Don't get me wrong. That tank is one of the best tanks in the game. But it does not have the camo to combat the Terran or the UDIS. So that was a big mistake on his part. He lost a lot of HP just by doing that. Now, at this point, Terran, I think he smells blood. He knows that T-57 is basically low health. One shot. Easy. We still don't know what the health status is of the other Terran because he wasn't spotted. And we don't know where he is. So I was a bit worried here. I'm like, if this guy pushes too far, he can get shafted from the side, one side or the other side. He's in the middle of the map. But luckily, the opposition's team Terran wasn't anywhere at the corners of the map. And now it becomes 3v1 situation. But look what happens here. The other two sniper schnitzels are not even moving. They're not moving at all. Especially the UDIS. I understand that Jagdpanzer 100 has no speed. And there's no way he's gonna get to the fight at this point. But the UDIS should be moving. So my heart is beating over here. I'm like, if this Terran dies, we can still lose this game. We probably will lose this game. Because the other two guys don't know what they're doing. That is a problem. But luckily, Yellow Eyes knows what he's doing. Which is great. So he smells blood. He's going hunting. He's like, if I die, I die. Doesn't matter. I'm getting my damage. That's exactly what he's doing. And he's going to get lucky here because he gets spotted in the open area. And the opposing team's Terran actually misses his shot. I mean, that was a good move by Yellow Eyes to kind of scooting down, avoiding that shell. But the other guy was way too slow to hit him right here. If they actually traded shots, that would have been an interesting game. But because the opposing team Terran misses, Yellow Eyes just tracks him down and takes him out of the game. Luckily, winning the game for the team. And take a look at this. Even though Yellow Eyes had 8,000 damage, STRV gets first place for being top-notch sniper schnitzel. He was amazing. He didn't move the entire game. But because the opposition was pushing in on our side of the map, he actually managed to get almost 5,000 damage. Very proud of myself for doing that. Anyway. Well, I'm glad you guys survived 2 games with me. And yes, this is a extremely long video. And to be honest, I don't give a shit that it's long. Because I felt like making this video. So you're going to watch one more game. If you don't want to watch all of them all at once, you're more than welcome to stop watching and come back to watch the last game later. Up to you guys. Leave it all up to you. And if you don't want to watch, so be it. Whatever. This is all you're going to get in my weekly video. That's all I had time for. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. Lately, life been kind of hectic, so I've been running around dealing with a lot of different issues, to be honest. But anyway, this game is Very, very good. And again, against good players at peak playing time. But in this one, I know it's all about game of mistakes, right? That's what we've been preaching this whole video today. Game of mistakes. This game, we're not going to make any mistakes. And when you don't make mistakes and the margins are small, guess what happens? Yes, you win. So this is going to be slightly different. But I just wanted to show this game as a reference to the others. Because it is extremely hard to play a perfect game in World of Tanks, especially today. Nowadays. With all the YOLOs, with all the people not shooting when you're spotting, with all the people not knowing where to penetrate the opposition's tanks. These are all the skills that are required in order to be good in this game. And unfortunately, a lot of players nowadays just don't have it. They just don't have it. Anyway, in this game, we're on Murat. We're on Hidden Valley. And because we're in a Murat, we have decent view range. We're going to get ourselves in the middle of this map over here. And we're going to try to combat this light tank. That's the main thing. We don't want him to spot our friendlies. And even if he does, we want him to feel unsafe. That's what we're trying to do over here. At the same time, we're paying attention to the map. As you notice here, we have only ourselves, 2 light tanks, and that's it in the field. Everybody else went up the Brawling Valley. That's what they did. And you notice me here? I'm trying to push this light tank, or the wheelie, whatever you want to call it. Now, problem with wheelies, I found in this game, is such that if you try to shoot their wheels, you're never going to do any damage. You're going to do critical, and you're not even going to break the wheel. That is bad design, to be honest. This game should be designed a little bit better. You should be able to break the wheel every time you shoot it. It's not going to happen in this game. I have bad luck with wheelies. I just can't hit them. It's normal. I just can't hit them. I'm just bad at the game. I can't hit them. And I'll show you an example later on why I cannot hit them. I don't know if it's the modeling. I don't know if the server lag or what. Or ghost shells, whatever. You'll see. It will happen in this game. Still happening. Anyway, so we're staying in this position as long as we can. We're spotting as well as we can. Trying to provide spots for our friendlies in the back. There's still a TD there. There's still a medium tank there. So they might be able to put shells to these guys, right? That's what I'm trying to do. And these guys got very impatient because they have 2 or 3 top tier tanks on this side of the map. And they're just pissed off that they cannot move because of me. But eventually they decided to move. And because they did, now I have to run away. I'm no longer safe over here. Because I can get shafted from area B7, B8. So keep that in mind. From that area I can easily put shots into the middle of the map where I was. So I had to run away. And the beauty of Murat is it has speed. You can get yourself out of dodge or out of bad situation fast. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Now, I got myself here in this spot. And from here, I should be able to have shots into these guys and have some protection. That's the idea. But we're already getting run over in a corridor. And the opposition tanks already started to push. So I just realized that right now. I'm like, you know what? This game is probably over already. If I don't start putting some damaging shots over here, I think the game will be over. So I find myself kind of in a pickle. And in many cases, that's the case. I'm like, what do I do here? I have nowhere to run. This is the only spot I can be in right now. And if that spot is not safe enough for me to be in, there's nothing else I can do. So usually in a situation like this, you just stay and you put your final damaging shots and you just die graciously with as much damage as you can. But anyway, we're going to still play it right. We're going to try to anticipate here. We're going to see if anybody pokes that corner. We're pre-aimed over here. We're waiting for that Kranwagen. He was there a split second ago. I'm thinking he might still poke. But he's not poking. And these guys in the middle are spotted. So we'll be able to put some shells into these guys here. And I gotta give it to our light tanks. They did a fantastic job of spotting the map. They're the only reason why we didn't lose the open field in this game. Because they took control. And sometimes you need players like this on your team. So, yeah, you cannot do it all by yourself. Especially in a situation like this. When you have too many good players on both teams. Anyway. They spotting this object 705 and he seemed to turn around. So we have open shots into him. We're going to put a few shells into him right there. right there. And yeah, we drain him down. So all of a sudden, the game that seemed like we're gonna lose, to be honest, because it seemed like that for a split moment, all of a sudden we're winning, right? But it's not over, guys. It's not over. This British heavy tank all of a sudden decided to push me. FV215B. And I'm worried that the guys in the field are not gonna shoot him. And I know he wants me bad. He wants me bad. So we decided to track him. We're gonna go around him. We're gonna put a couple of shells into him. But because we have the field right now, my friendly should be able to kill him, right? That's what I was thinking. And remember when I said I didn't make mistakes in this game? I did. That was my only mistake in this game. Actually not aiming manually at him. My shell hitting him in a turret instead of hitting him in a hole. That was a big mistake. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to kill him anyway. I wanted to make sure that I spin his turret and put him out of position. That was the idea there. But still, I should have aimed that shot. Okay, so we lost the corridor. Eventually it did happen. Even though most of our tanks went there, we lost it. Isn't that a common theme in World of Tanks today, guys? Think about it. All the tanks going in one direction and all dying? Yeah. Yeah, it happens a lot. Happens a lot. Even to me. Yes, it does. Anyway, we're going after Artie. I'm hoping that all the opposing players are somewhere on our side of the map and they're not over here. So I'm trying to sneak up on Artie. At the same time, I want to sneak around this corner here and see if anybody's there. But I get spotted. So Artie decided to move. And alarm bells ring. All of a sudden, they go off. I'm like, oh shit, Artie's right here. He actually decided to move. And again, during peak times, when there are good players playing, there are good Artie players playing too. They actually relocate. Anyway, we managed to kill him. And now we're going to get the hell out. We're going to reload. And we're going to try to get ourselves in a position, in a field, where we can defend our base. We see our TD still there. Our Artie is moving. Take a look at the map. Our Artie is actually moving. He's also a smart player. So we were trying to go back to defend the base. But all of a sudden we spot this FV215B, Death Star. We're going to try to put a shell into his drive wheel and track him. Unfortunately, we were not able to track him, but we do put damaging shot into him. And this ridgeline here is going to protect us from him. We don't want to make mistakes. Remember, now this is the shot that I was talking about. Take a look at this, guys. I slow it down for you. Yes, I will slow it down for you. Take a look at this. Is this server lag? Is that a ghost shell? What is it? I don't know. To me, it seems like a ghost shell. He should have been dead, but he's not. So he continues driving forward. But luckily, he gets killed by our teammates, which I appreciate. Thank you very much. And we decided to go on a reload again because, you know, I want to disappear for some time right now. I don't want to be spotted. I know that Death Star is looking at me, and I don't want him to pay attention to me. So we're going to reload, and we're going to try to see if we can get some shots into this Kranwagen. He poked the corner there for a split moment. I thought he was going to stay there, but he didn't. Luckily, he got tracked, and we're able to take him out of the game. Very good teamwork. Very good teamwork. We're going to lose our sixth sense again right over here. And now that we lost it, we should be able to put a shell into this Death Star. He's not looking at us, so we put a shell into him, into his drive wheel. We take him out of the game. And now it's just one TD remaining on the opposing team. But unfortunately, our teammates cap. And I'm okay with this, to be honest. In a close game like that, when it comes down to winning or losing in the last minute of the game, so on and so forth, I'm okay with this. That's fine. We managed to pull out the win, and that's what counts. Anyway, not the games you'll normally see on my channel, guys. These ones were actually hard to pull out of my ass. Even though I died in two of them, but the last two I'm talking about. First game, obviously I couldn't do anything about it. Second game, I was saved by a decent teammate. And third game, we're actually able to have impact on the game. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy tanking. Space Bandit, checking out.